In the gym and in the car, with our advice you could go far. We fuck things up and we make mistakes, and talk about our sexy dates. We host events and go to clubs, but most of all we're still in love. It's getting hard for this to rhyme, just as well 'cause it's bed hopping time.
We've got something that's just for you. Holy shit, it's an interview.
Hello and welcome to the Bed Hoppers podcast. My name is Drunken Mr. H. How are you doing?
Significantly better than you, Drunken Mr. H.
Well, actually, technically, at this moment in time, I am not drunk. But hold on, gentle listener, for we have an interview for you that is...
You are inebriated.
It might be possible. Well, let me set the scene. It was my birthday, and some delightful, sexy friends had turned up on our doorstep to help me celebrate that birthday with a bottomless brunch followed by cocktails.
I mean, what could go wrong?
Nothing bad could happen. And then, because normally they don't like speaking in front of a microphone. It's not their, they go a bit quiet. But I do. For some reason, it came up on our travels throughout the course of the day that we could record a podcast and then it would be amazing and it would be such a riot and such a hoot. Little did I know that would involve like 7 hours of me editing things.
You did that yourself.
I did that myself. I don't think I brought it up, but we did have the delightful, the incredible Pennylane and Starlord over to our house. It was lovely. I had a lovely birthday celebration. So it was great. If you wished me happy birthday, thank you very much. And also thank you to them for the awesome birthday presents that you bought me that are guaranteed to annoy you, Mrs. H.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. Of course, it was a karaoke machine.
Yeah, and a little light ball thing, which you liked.
That's the gift that keeps on giving, isn't it?
It is the gift that keeps on giving. So they came over to our house. We went for bottomless brunch, so a number of cocktails and ongoing Prosecco throughout the course of that day. They were consumed. Then we went to another bar and we had shots and drinks. And then...
That bar was horrific.
It was awful. It was terrible. Avoid that bar.
Wipe clean pictures of the selection of cocktails on offer, which should have been our first red flag.
Well, Mr. Starlord and I went to get some drinks while you two ladies sat in some swings, which was fun.
I know.
They were cool. That was good. And we're like, hey, everything's fine. Why are the children running around upstairs?
Well, that was the other red flag. Why was there a bloody crash in the pub?
And then we asked the barmaid for a number of shots, and she'd been working in the place for 2 hours in total.
And she encountered you two drunken bums.
Yeah, so that happened. Then we had some awful shots and some pretty much what was I can only describe as sugary drinks. Followed by, we were like, sod this, let's go to another bar and have more cocktails. And then we came back and then we recorded. Yes.
Podcast.
So the reason I'm giving you, gentle listener, this delightfully descriptive intro of how things went, it's because when we hit play on the interview thing, I'm going to sound quite drunk. Now, it's possible that Mr. the Starlord or Sir Starlord,
he's also drunk,
may also be slightly inebriated. And it's possible, actually, that the ladies are also quite drunk.
Not as much as you.
But not to the point of slurring around. Now, ordinarily, I'd be like, this is very unprofessional. I'm not going to put this out into the
real life,
sphere. But, because it is 2025, right? Happy New Year, by the way. Hope you had a lovely one and hope you've had a good start to it. I wanted to share this particular episode because I think they cover some really valid points. Some of the conversation is really worthwhile and some of it is just me being a drunken dickhead. So I thought, let's share it. Let's get the year off to a good start. Plus it's, content. Hey, and, it's better than us talking about the sexy time of the week and put that out there. So that's kind of where we've got to.
There we go. You've eased people in gently.
So I've
alerted them to the fact that you are indeed highly inebriated.
Yeah, I've forewarned you. Now, there's going to be some random chats. There's going to be laughter. There's going to because controlling 4 people in an interview is a tough job sometimes. Trying to control them when you're drunk and don't care about control is even more difficult. And then trying to edit the results of this conversation is challenging to say the least. Hopefully, I've turned into something that is a delight for you, gentle listener, that you will enjoy for many years to come. But it's safe to say that I'm not drinking for a week.
A week?
A whole week.
Oh my God.
So, yeah, we've got some cool stuff coming up. So we had New Year's Eve, which was awesome. We went to Extasia, and I'm sure we'll talk about that at some point and share how that went.
We had some drinks there too.
We did have some drinks there. And then we've got the social club Bournemouth thing coming up. That'll be fun.
Yeah.
And then following that, we've got our Candyland event with Kate from Wonderlust.
17th and 18th of January.
There we go. You can still get club tickets, I believe. I'm not sure if there's any rooms left or not. There may or not be
It's
one or
nearly
two.
sold out. I'm fairly sure it's nearly sold
But it's
out.
pretty much sold out. It is a hotel takeover, Annette.
Yeah.
And you can come along and have a really good time, right? So I think we've got I think maybe 1 or 2 triple rooms. The last time I looked, that was a couple of days ago. That's what we had left. You can come along to that. We're going to be doing a room crawl. We're going to be doing speed dating, all sorts of really cool things.
Yeah.
Plus also a club takeover as well. So you get to experience penthouse playrooms, have a really good time there, meet some awesome new people or people that you've met before that are still awesome. So you could come along to that if you fancy. So I'll put it in the show notes. I know it's very close to the time, but it might make a nice way of beating those horrible January blues, isn't it?
Oh, it is a blue month.
It
is the blue month. But we're going to make it all pop, candy, pop.
Pop, candy,
Happy.
pop. Pop. You lost for words already?
No, we're gonna make it like Katy Perry.
What, Raw?
No, she did like a
Kissing girls and thinking you liked it?
Well, there may be an element of kissing girls at the event, but
I
I
mean-
think it's more around. Katy Perry had like a bunch of crazy ass costumes, right? All themed around California girls and stuff.
How were we supposed to know what exactly you were talking about? Now, this is why.
You have a translator for me. You know what I'm talking about.
How is it that when you were drunk, you were able to appear more sober than you do now? I don't understand this.
There's a secret method to that, Mr. H, and it's because whenever you are really, really drunk,
Yes.
it seems to propel me into a
Annoyance.
state of
Massive
yeah, I am
annoyance.
actually quite irritated when you're drunk. However, it does propel me into more of a I must look after him a little bit. One of us needs to remain not sober but sensible. So it actually like sobers me up slightly when you're really drunk.
You go into defense mode.
I do a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Aw.
oh shit, things might get bad. I need to help him out.
Things rarely get bad. I mean, they just get drunk and silly. I think that's the
Yeah.
thing. And I'm like, hey, let's stay up until 5:45 in the morning because that'll be good.
Yeah,
Yes.
I haven't given you that one.
No, I know you've not. That's why we've had a lay-in today, and we've been able to record this post New Year's Eve. Like it's been pretty good, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So, anything else that we need to talk about before we play the thing?
No, other than we're just really sorry for how drunk you sound.
Yeah, I like how you're sorry for how drunk I sound.
I'm so sorry for how drunk he sounds. I was a little bit drunk, but not as much as you.
I think we all drank quite a bit. It's fair to say.
Yeah.
And I think, but it was my birthday, so it's
It
kind of
was
like
your
it was really fun,
birthday.
and it was a really nice day, and I had a really nice time and some really nice friends and all this kind of stuff. In fact, I had like almost 3 or 4 weekends of celebrating my birthday, so that's
Yeah.
that's not awful.
You haven't got any birthdays now till December.
I know
so-
I've got to wait like 11 months before I get another birthday, which kind of sucks. But that's the way they go. You get like one a year. I'm not the queen.
Okay.
No. Anyway, let's do the thing.
We've got something that's just for you. Holy shit, it's an interview.
Hello, I'm so glad to welcome both Pennylane and Starlord to the podcast. Now, it's been a while since we've talked about them, but don't let that fool you. They have been in our minds for a long time. Welcome, both of you.
Hello.
Thank you.
They're looking at me because I'm doing podcast voice. I think, all right,
weird.
Terrifying.
we've had, I'm going to be honest, we've had a little bit of drink, and this could go
A little?
a little bit.
Oh, babe, what are you
Yes.
drinking?
I may have drunk
What are you drinking now?
Yeah, well,
water.
Why are you drinking water?
Because my wife says that I'm not allowed to drink anything else until I've drunk my water.
Your wife speaks the truth.
This is true. But we've invited...
Why are you so drunk? And we're
We
not.
started like 2:30.
Yeah, we started at like
No,
at the daytime.
1:15.
And then I've continued throughout and like here we are. This is the thing.
So how are me and Pennylane not as inebriated?
I don't know.
Because you're heavy duty and we're lightweight.
Yeah, this may be it. It might be a thing, but also because we want to entertain you, and the only way that we can do that is by getting ragingly drunk.
The medium of inebriation.
Yes, the medium of inebriation is not that far away from us. But the good news is I've got some notes written down.
You have?
So that means, yes, we can do a podcast.
Did you write these when you were drunk?
Yeah.
No, I wrote them when I was sober.
I've seen his notes from
Okay.
the
His
last,
notes are
last podcast.
Yeah,
Not
they're
our
from
current
the
podcast.
Yes, they're from the last podcast, but they still apply, which is a really, really, really good situation.
Jim and Tom, thank you.
Yes, thank you, Shim and Tom. We've taken those notes. So, what I'd like to know is, how would you describe yourself, Mr. Starlord?
Oh dear.
Thinking about Pennylane, how would you describe her?
Cute.
Agreed.
Quiet.
Also agreed.
Irritating.
That was my word.
Irritating.
That was my word. No, that was
Sexy.
my word.
Okay.
We did this earlier in a trial run in the drinking venue.
Yep.
And I did some words and I described her as irritating.
I would say
In a
she's
nice way.
like a
In a
book.
loving way.
You can't read her.
No, I think
You
books
can,
can be
no,
read.
I
That's
can-
the whole point of
I
books,
don't-
that you read them.
No.
I don't read books. And there's a video and a film. I can read those.
I like how Miss Richards lost his entire notes
I
now.
have lost my notes. It's fine. It's also good. I'm back.
I'm watching you. I know what you're doing.
All right. How would you describe him?
Drunk.
Yeah.
At the moment, yeah. Sexy.
Okay. Is that a joke?
No.
Hey.
Sexy. Kind. Giving. Bit mischievous.
Ooh, like Loki.
It's a Loki element. Yeah, okay.
Loki about him.
He's got Loki on his shirt right now.
See?
There's a Loki
Yeah,
on the
there is
shirt.
a Loki
Yeah,
on
I-
it.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do like Loki. I identify with his
Deviousness.
yes.
So you're selling each other on a dating platform. What? Like you've got a few words to chuck at someone to go, hey, check out my
What?
partner.
So I'll swipe right.
Yeah.
And go.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. I want to see.
You don't
more
know
of
which way
this.
people swipe, but whichever way
No,
they
I know,
swipe,
but
there's
I'm
the
assuming
sexy
it's
way.
right.
Yeah. Up, down, I don't know. But you've got a few words to kind of go, oh, this is my partner. Do it.
Nerdy.
Yeah. Like sexy nerdy.
Sexy nerdy. Dark.
Adorkable.
Handsome.
Adorkable.
Adorable.
Adorable.
Okay.
Adorkable.
Handsome.
Can't go
And-
cut bread for shit.
No.
No, but this
No.
we know.
No.
Mr. Starler, how would you describe Mrs. Pennylane?
I would say she's a little bit bratty.
Oh, yeah.
You don't believe it until you see her.
Oh, I do. I do believe it.
She comes across as being all sweet and innocent, but behind those eyes, there's something naughty going on.
Again, slightly turned on. Tell me more.
Are you
Find
ready
out.
to
This
swipe
is
right yet?
this is untrue.
No, true.
I mean, Mrs. Olivegate and
It's untrue.
Pizzagate.
I was not responsible for any of these things.
Lies. You did that. You made a conscious choice.
you got a reputation.
So, for those of you who don't know, this is
Yes,
talking
come on,
about our
talk about
first
Olivegate. Let's
social
get it out there.
where Malteser rappers were wrapped with olives inside them. So, if you were expecting a
Malteser?
wonderful Malteser surprise when
No.
you bit into that, there was an olive.
Salty
Which
olive.
for me, actually, I'd have been on board. But for anyone that was expecting a wonderful, delicious chocolate, was not the case.
For those involved, you know who you are.
Yeah, they.
Yeah, I didn't ever put an olive in a wrapper.
You presented it so kindly.
100%. I would take a lie detector
Really?
test.
And who did then? Someone else?
Somebody else.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
This is where we got to.
Always pass
So-
the buck.
I'm not going to name names.
It's very
It wasn't
kind of
me.
you.
What I did was facilitate
Yeah.
and moved the wrapped olive to the dish.
So
That's it.
you were like the
I was like-
you were
yes.
the mule in this
I was a
situation.
mule, and I kind of did that stealthy thing where I literally crawled really fast over to the other side of the room, put it in, and then crawled back really fast so no one could see me. I was like,
So
You did try and steal my pizza.
that was later.
That is true.
That is
Yeah.
true.
Late.
No
So
one is in any
let-
doubt.
let us-
at
And
all.
again, but I didn't realise that there wasn't more pizza.
Okay, let's move away from this and get on with the questions since we are here and attempting to record. So, how the fuck did you get started in this weird lifestyle of ours?
So you know the thing you really want, that I really want. Should we do that? That's how we
Sure,
started.
why not? You're driving
Yeah.
this now.
Oh, okay.
I didn't believe it existed.
Yeah.
I was like, whatever.
Look at this
I
app.
was like, that sounds. I
Whatever.
was like, whatever.
Because your
Elucidate.
friends are much fitter, darling.
Oh.
Elucidate, Mr. Starlord.
I mean, our first attempt in lifestyle was to look at an app called 3Fun, and I showed the first couple we connected with. They look really hot. Why don't we talk to them? And you're like, yeah, no, they don't exist.
I didn't believe it at all. I was like, what are you talking about? What app? I was like, what? This isn't a thing. Like, and then I think we
Give it a go.
pretty much instantly connected them.
Yeah, I mean, this was 2020.
No one
Ish.
had anything else to do.
Yeah,
It was like there was nothing else to do. And we suddenly connected with them and we started little conversations and I still didn't quite believe it. And we did all that thing where you prove to each other that you're who you are by taking a photo with your name on it and everything, just trying to, because I had to be like, no, I need to know these people are not,
catfish.
dodgy. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't understand this. We're going to do this. I need to know they're real. And we did that. And then we just started chatting, didn't we?
Yeah, we became best of buds through COVID lifestyle and everything else.
We survived COVID because of them.
Yep.
100%. Like just sanity was,
The COVID times were a scary time, right?
Yeah.
I think we all doubled down on it was like space for conversation.
Yeah.
And like, what are we going to do tonight? Well, let's talk about our sexual
Yeah,
dynamics.
it was pillow talks +1.
Yeah, and it was just chat. Most of it was just lovely chat and finding some new friends. And there was obviously a little bit element of naughtiness, but it was certainly mostly just, getting to know each other, really.
So what I want to know, talking to dynamics, is what is your dynamic? How would you describe it?
Well, it started off pretty basic.
Okay, go on.
Well, I think at the start we were like, okay, we're going to experiment a little, see what it's like to play with other people. We were definitely in the kind of, we're just going to soft swap. We're not going to do anything outside of our comfort zone. We're just going to see where this leads.
We didn't set boundaries at all.
We didn't set any boundaries, but we did say that we weren't generally interested in full swap at that point. That was a big step.
Had you done anything before?
No.
Nothing.
I was interested in playing with a lady for the first time. And that's completely new to me. And I think that was what was initially on the table. We were experimenting with that. And you were obviously interested in playing with guys for the first time. But that wasn't necessarily going to happen in this dynamic. But
2019, I think we had pillow talk. Well, you asked me, tell me something I don't know. And I said to you, I'd quite like to play with guys. And that sparked a lot of conversation. And then the lifestyle, third person talk, having MMF was kind of on the cards.
Had you played with guys before? Or
No.
was it just something that was in your head?
No, it's purely in my head. Okay. I sold the idea of it to Pennylane. And from that, it sparked a lot more interest in the idea of me playing with guys and her seeing me play with guys.
How did you feel, Pennylane, when Starlord was like, I quite like the idea of playing with the guy? How did you feel?
the first initial conversation, quite surprised. I mean, I didn't have any idea at the time. But it wasn't something, I think, as time went on, and obviously considering that I like the idea of playing with girls, it wasn't something I wanted to stop him from experiencing, if that was what he wanted to do. So that's why we delved into exploring it a little bit.
I think her prime reason for getting to lifestyle was to experience our sexualities.
But what we didn't expect was to find really nice people and close friendships and stuff. Like, we definitely didn't expect that.
And have you found that?
1,000%.
No. We're still looking.
Wow.
Such a dickhead.
I mean, here we are at your house.
They're out there somewhere.
Having a good time and going for drinks and having good
When
friendships.
we're good, I got alcoholic milk, it seems. And
Yeah, you do.
You've got water.
What I want to know is, what have you learned about yourselves since joining this lifestyle? And Pennylane, what has been your discovery?
That's a really big question.
It is, and that's why I know,
And
right?
There's so much to that. I've learned a lot about my own body and what I like and what I don't like. A lot more than before, I think. I've learned about how important it is to connect with people on a sort of intellectual level. The personality, I found demisexual. I love the friendships, the connections more than I do everything else. Tell me.
When you say this is a big question.
It is,
and you're
though.
like,
Big question.
I don't know.
Sponsor. I mean, that's fine.
I mean, I could probably have half an hour on the subject.
Well,
but I don't.
Well, if you give us some content, we can go from there. But what's been your biggest surprise about yourself?
She likes the power source.
Oh yeah, you need to have a
Toys.
fucking good power.
Supply.
Yeah, I
for the
didn't.
doxy.
I didn't before this. I didn't have toys really in
Yep.
my life.
Our first friends and lifestyle were the ones to treat you to toys.
Yeah, they gave me my first rabbit,
And so
And
the obsession
then-
began.
And then
yes, and then Mr. Starlord got me my first wand.
Oh, God. How many have you got through now?
I think it might. How many do you think it is?
5. At least
Dear
5.
God.
At least, so these are doxies, right? So
mean,
they're
yeah.
ones.
Doxy.
I've only ever
Thank
bought
you.
Doxies. Like I've not tried the other brand.
Okay,
I
other
don't
brands
think
are
they
available.
cope. They wouldn't cope with
I
our
didn't think it
demand.
was a good idea, but
No.
Definitely
I-
stress testing them.
I don't know why. I don't know what was wrong with them. But some of them arrived broken. I don't know.
Yeah.
Blaming me.
Okay.
All
They
right.
arrived and they made funny noises. It wasn't my fault.
So what?
But it was I reckon about 7 or 8, maybe. I don't know.
So what I'm hearing is that Pennylane enjoys a doxy,
I do.
and
Yeah.
so you went on a natural discovery of sex toys that worked for you, and a doxy
Yep.
was like the output.
Yep.
Of that.
A
And
doxy combined with the...
yes,
the
so
Enjoy.
from your,
Yeah, enjoy.
your podcast where you did the whole experiments with the different toys.
Oh,
Is
yeah.
that the Christmas one? or
Yeah,
something? Yeah. So I bought the
The Enjoy wand. The big
Enjoy,
silver
yeah.
one.
That is amazing. I recommend everyone to try that.
If you can't afford it, AliExpress.
Yeah,
AliExpress
there
is a
are
very cheap
other versions are
There
available.
are.
Yes.
It's not quite
It's
as good as
quite-
a murder weapon, but it's
No,
still
it is. It would murder you. It would murder someone. Yeah, it
Yeah,
definitely
I've got our
would.
stuff. Got stuff or not stuff with the wand.
with the wand. Oh,
Yeah.
the Enjoy one.
Yeah, the
Sorry,
Enjoy.
the magic one.
I don't
oh,
think.
God.
Have you tried them?
No, I have. In
It's
private,
heft-
probably.
It's hefty.
It
It's
is,
a bit-
yeah. It is
It has
for
a
like,
heft. It's a lot of work to do.
trust
right?
yourself.
Yeah.
I don't think
Not
there's
the big
a-
end.
a-
No, I don't.
necessarily
the
straight
smaller
away.
one.
Okay.
But what I would say about it is it is quite intimidating when you first get it, and I would say that it takes a little while to find your groove with it. But
Much
to
like
pers-
meeting me for the first time.
Yeah, I would say
Wanna see.
persist.
You're not intimidating.
I don't know. I'll back that up.
You're
This is
really
the
not
thing.
intimidating.
I'm not. Okay.
No,
all
I
right.
don't
to be
think you're
intimidating? I mean, Queen can say
I
that.
don't know. Because Sage is intimidating. I think that's fair.
Really.
Yeah,
A little.
maybe. I don't know. But
Drink the
anyway,
water, bitch.
so we talked about what you learned about yourself, Pennylane. Starlord, what have you learned about yourself since doing this?
I mean, we've got to do it for our sexualities, our bi-sides. I've learned that I'm open to different scenarios. I'm open to playing with all sorts of people, meeting new personalities. And it's been enlightening. I think in the lifestyle, you see so many people that you just adapt to their personalities and you adapt to their...
I think you've always been more willing to try things than I mean, I've been more cautious than you, but you're pretty much, oh, let's give it a go. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. You're very, very much like that.
Yeah.
You're like, well, might enjoy it, might not. Just, you're very relaxed.
I'll chuck it in my mouth and see how it feels.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, no, that's
exactly.
not true, babe.
Sorry?
We know that's not true.
About
babe.
what?
You.
About me? I wasn't talking about me. It's not about me.
Oh,
It's-
I see.
It's about Sir Starlord, who,
Sir Starlord. now.
Sir Starlord.
Not Miss Starlord.
Oh,
it's
he's
now Sir
great.
Starlord.
Sir Starlord.
you know, we'll flip gently between the options throughout the course of this interview. What have you learned about other people, though? So, because you've done this for a while, this has been like a couple of years for
A
you.
while.
At
Yeah, a
least
couple of
a
years
couple.
at least.
Yeah, I want to know what have you learned about other people?
People complicated.
Oh, that's
I think
true.
we all wear a mask. We all pretend to be something we're not, potentially.
Yeah, there's a lot of people out there who are looking for the same things, but you don't know because no one will talk about it. Obviously, there's that. But people are complicated and relationships are complicated.
I love the way. So I've just made a mark on my iPad while I'm going through this, and both. What is he doing? What is he
He's
doing?
writing
Like, I'm
notes,
just
like-
just making like passing off my questions.
Yeah, every
You're
time
a
you do
psychologist
something,
going,
like,
right?
looking at you.
Why, Mr. H, why have you done these things? Curiously, I'm intrigued because you folks have been in some situations that we've not been in. So because I know Starlord plays with guys, I know you folks have played separately. So what have you learned about other people in those spaces?
We all want the same thing.
A lot of us, yes, within reason, obviously.
Well,
But,
orgasm.
Yeah.
but
I mean, with guys, it's very similar to that. It's you do the thing and then you go home.
Right.
everybody's nervous. Everybody doesn't know how to instigate that next step, and everyone's, most people aren't that confident with their bodies, and everyone has their things that you realise that you're all the same, and that actually it's quite nice to.
You can stop
get
looking
that
at
out.
my next questions, though, by the way.
I'm
not
not.
going to help you. I can see you looking
I
down
can't
the
read
list.
it. It's in a different page.
good luck. I can't read his writing either. It's like a dead
Hang on.
spider.
It's like,
I've
it's
tried
good
before
luck
and I
reading
can't.
that sober after a few drinks. No fucker's going to be able
never
to
been able
read
to
it.
read his notes.
20 to 9. I mean,
It's
that's
early.
quite late night.
It's an early night.
Does that limit your ability to read his words?
We did start at 1
time.
p.m. Just saying.
Just saying, we've been
it's only 1
drinking for a
p.m.
while.
I'm just saying, me and
Merry
Pennylane are
Christmas.
drinking alcohol and you two on water.
Yes, because you gave us water.
Yeah, because you need it.
I'm not angry. I'm just disappointed. Mr. Starlord, what have you learned about other people?
I've learned that we are all very accommodating.
Okay.
In lifestyle, I think it's our group of people is very, they don't intimidate us. We've been very friendly and very welcoming
Accepting
to us.
is a good
accepting.
accepting. In France, we're quite accepting.
I thought there'd be more people that are against bisexual people. I thought there'd be more people that are rigid in their ways. But no, they're a good bunch. I think through the Bed Hopper community we built is fabulously welcoming.
There
So
are
many
challenges.
kind and lovely people that we've come across. No one's been against alternative lifestyles, that we've all been like chatting and getting to know each other.
I'm listening.
As a bi guy, right, I want to know what the challenges that you faced, because I can talk from a straight guy because that's me, but
Tragically straight.
tragically, yeah.
That's
That's the challenge that we're talking about.
Yeah.
think-
So what challenge have you faced from that perspective?
What, where the guy isn't bi, maybe?
Yes.
Yeah.
Guys,
All right, but let's go down that road. Like, how's that influenced your kind of opportunities, and how has that changed your perspectives as you've gone through the thing?
I mean, being bi means you got twice the options, potentially.
All right, show off.
You can be selfish, you can have both.
he is very selfish when it comes to cock. He doesn't share.
What?
He doesn't share.
I mean, I have been
know
known to
that.
Really?
hold.
This is the
Hang on,
exact
so if
same
you
thing.
had cock, you wouldn't share it?
This is the same with Mrs. H. With
I share cock.
No, not cock. With
share cock.
She doesn't
I have
share
been known to
clunge.
share cock
You don't
frequently.
clunge. No, you do not share.
I'll share that.
No, you do
And
not.
do not use that word.
You share with me, though.
I did.
We've had experiences sharing
We've,
together.
we've shared things before.
All right, carry on. Proceed.
I shared your cock just last weekend.
Yes,
with 3 people.
You don't share lady parts very well.
There's 2 boobies. You must share.
Two
One each.
boobies.
We
What?
get 1 each. You don't need to share.
I,
You don't
I,
need to-
I think it's beyond that we're talking about.
It's harder to share than it is a cock.
A what?
Oh, that's worse than
Because-
plunge.
Either way, come off, a female muff.
It's harder to share a Janine than it is a cock. Because
What
a cock,
part of the clunge
right,
are you sharing?
a cock sticks up, right? And it's there. It's quite
Sticks up.
So
exposing.
how many to a cock?
Well, last,
Clock.
I've shared many a clock.
last weekend, we managed to do a 3-way blowjob on Mr.
I was
H,
terribly upset by this.
who obviously
Terrible.
fought
Yeah,
it off. He's trying to
Thanks,
fist bump
man.
you, babe.
Thanks, buddy.
3 people, we were like, let's give him a triple blowjob. Let's
What
do
I love
that.
is that Mrs. H was like, hey, Mr. H has never had a triple blowjob.
Well, it turns out you have.
Mr. H had.
So how'd that work? One each side and one at the end?
I don't know how it was. But the
we-
thing was,
I mean, the
I'd
three of
had
us
one
just
before.
gathered
But I wasn't going to
around.
fucking say anything. I was going to stay quiet.
You must have had a triple blowjob.
Triple blowjob.
New Year's Eve. I think these people
New
were,
Year's
they were there. They saw that.
You didn't have 3 people on your
I
New Year's
fucking did.
Eve.
2000 and whatever that was.
We had a lot of.
Yeah,
we also had a lot of cock.
Really?
I have no
yeah.
cock, fortunately, other than the cock that I was bringing to the table. However, my point was is that I was
Did I
like,
hit unfortunately there?
Mrs. H is like, he's not had a triple blowjob before, and who am I to argue?
For the
Like,
purposes
what am I
of
going
the
to say?
experiment, I thought maybe you'd like a
Oh,
triple
no.
blowjob.
How awful for Mr. H.
My
3
point
women.
being, right, a cock sticks up when it's erect, and
Yes.
that's actually easier to access than it is to, access a Janine.
Yeah, so
Just saying.
triple blowjob
It's easier to go
than a triple clunge
down
job.
on a guy for.
You can't triple. You can't
triple.
triple.
I think you can. I
Take
think you can.
turns.
You can't.
There's 3 of us.
I mean,
Let's
two
practice
of
in a minute.
you have done it to, you did it with
Like
another
two-
lady
like
to me.
a tour
but
is
you had
fine.
to kind of take it in turns a little bit. It wasn't like a straightforward
I
both
think
of you going
we've got the
there.
science to work this out. If we pull all the resources that we have
But
together.
logistically, there's like thighs and stuff in the way. You can't just.
It is not my
there.
fault if you can't get your legs wide enough
Whereas-
for 3
whereas
heads. I mean,
it's like exposed. It's there. It's like a,
Hang on.
a big lollipop, right?
We've definitely.
have you gone off
on-
scale?
gone off
Yeah,
on a tangent here.
so what I want to know,
Wait,
right?
anyway,
so,
back to
okay.
Challenges.
Let's go back to my new question. Right, okay.
For a bi guy, that was the question.
That was the question.
Was it?
Yes,
Yeah.
It
yes.
was the challenges for you.
Which was?
The challenge of being a bi guy.
Okay, let me go back to a new question. Start a new question.
Go back to
I have a challenge.
Go on,
I think that
can you
sometimes
show me yours?
it's quite hard out there. I think for bi guys, it's quite hard.
You bet it is.
Definitely.
I think there's a lot of people out there who will say they're bi and they're not because they're just trying to get to the lady.
Or say straight and then like be interested in what's going on.
Yeah, so there's a lot. I think that scares me a little. So when we've looked for single bi guys, I don't trust them very much because I think that they're just trying to another way to get, and there's another single guy just trying to get their way
cock in
into
the
the
mouth if it gets me to you.
Ulterior
Is that what-
motives.
yeah.
Yep.
So I think there's
Thank
quite a
you.
lot of that going on. So it's
that's
quite
a-
difficult to find genuine bi guys who are really bi.
That's a challenge. Do you go through like a process like you've got to suck his cock for at least 3 minutes before you get this nanny? Is that what we're talking about here?
Well, like an X Factor boot camp
Yes.
kind of scenario.
To me,
Yeah.
to me, it's not about them sucking the cock. It's the fact if they don't want to kiss,
That's
is the first
a
sign
red
for me.
flag.
It's a red flag.
Yeah.
It's a red
Is it
flag.
the kissing bit that's so
Well, I
cock is
think
fine.
so. I mean, there's lots of bi guys that just like to play with, but I think that if you think that a guy's completely buying into it, and suddenly they don't want to kiss the guy, you're like,
Red
whoa,
flag.
hang on, like,
Here's your moment.
Yeah.
Look at how you know it's true. It's possible she wants you to. There's one way
Anyway,
to
before we get
ask
sued
her.
by Disney, move on because we've been down this road before.
So what have been your main challenges together? What have been the things that you've faced as you've gone through this wholesome lifestyle?
We found many good friends through lifestyle.
That's a challenge. I get that.
It's not a challenge.
It is a
No,
challenge,
not
but
a
it-
challenge, that part.
Some of those people are challenges. I recognise that. You've met us.
Me,
So that-
I'm a challenge. I get that.
I think the challenge has been we've realised we're more poly than we first recognised.
We're certainly open to that side of things.
Yeah.
I do get emotionally attached quite quickly if there's a connection.
Do you think that's a problem that lots of people face?
I think
they
that
don't
is
think they think
because-
it's going to happen, but it does.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of that, and I think it's really difficult to go to that point where you're seeing someone regularly. It's different when you go to a club and you're anonymous.
Yeah.
But if you start to connect with someone that's particularly local, perhaps,
Yeah, on a
but
regular
you start
basis.
seeing a regular basis and they don't expect to get that connection, it's going to suddenly be a surprise that they actually have. You are going to get feelings. You're having sexual contact.
I remember years ago, before our very first meet, I remember sitting down with Mr. H, and one of my biggest fears, which I vocalised to him that night, was what if you form an attachment to somebody? And I think that's probably something a lot of people resonate with. What if you actually develop feelings for someone because you're connecting with them physically and probably emotionally? And I don't know if you felt the same, Mr. H, that you worried that I would develop emotional attachments to people, but it's a fear that lots of people must face.
So I think what I've learned throughout this escapade is that you do develop, like you can develop emotional attachments to people, develop relationships, because I think if you're going to see people on a regular basis, however regular it is, it might be once every 3-4 months, you can't help but develop an attachment. And I think if you didn't, you'd be a little bit mad for that point. I think the thing is just checking that emotional attachment. I know that you have, Mrs. H, attachments to people.
I do. I do.
I know,
right.
and I see those, and I know that I have attachments to people, and actually it's kind of about understanding what those attachments mean and how they work. So it's not to say that they can't happen, but it is to say that they are different to we live together and we spend every waking moment with each other. For example, right? So I know that you and Secret Stag have an attachment.
Maybe.
But I know that attachment is absolutely about you having a whispery moment about what's going on in the background.
We have
how
a
it's going.
cerebral link.
It's a cerebral link, and I get that. I understand it, but I think if I hadn't gone through the moments to get to that point where you have that connection, then I think that would have been a struggle. But actually, because it's grown, I've kind of gotten used to that concept. And I accept it. And I know that, we both have attachments to the people that sat around the table. Like we do. We can't deny the fact that that's a thing. It's not a situation where we're like, oh, I love them and I'm going to offer them. But it's not a situation where you kind of go, well, I couldn't live without them. Like it's kind of like there is a connection. And I think it would be disrespectful to not acknowledge it.
And I think, it's healthy to have those feelings for other people. It's accepting that you can actually have feelings for other people as well. And it's not a dangerous thing because it's not the same feelings. It's different. They're like those loving feelings, but they're not the same as the feelings that we have. It's so different.
I'm not comparing like Coke normal to Coke Zero. But in a way, that's the easiest way to put it across. It's like Mrs. H is my Coke, and you might be my Diet Coke. Like, but
everyone's Diet Coke.
Please be Dr. Pepper Zero for love of God.
But it is
Dr. Pepper
it's
Zero.
like you get your main foundation of where you connect and how you link into someone. And you kind of go,
I'm like Coke.
You are addictive, yes, you are, and cause me the vulture a number of times. But then there are other people that I really enjoy, that I enjoy connecting with. That thing, you can't help but being encapsulated or whatever into that moment. But it's not your primary relationship. But it is a moment where you kind of go, well, this is hard and this is nice. And I think if you didn't do that, I think I'd feel like all of the interactions we have are very transactional and very...
It certainly adds to the excitement of having those feelings. They're the most exciting experiences you have, I think.
Okay, I think like years later, having been able to reflect on where we've been so far, I actually think my life would be quite devoid of those happy emotions now if we didn't have the cerebral emotional attachments that we've developed. And I actually do welcome them now because I think it's far easier to enjoy the experiences we have together as a couple if we are emotionally invested to some extent with the people that we're playing with.
But I do also feel that you do need to have that, you do need to be in a really solid place.
Very
like
much
you
so.
find there's a lot of people out there who are quite new to it that don't understand, and then obviously that's quite a big panic to them, but you have to be in a good place to be able to do those things.
And I think that's maybe why I'm a little bit hesitant sometimes to get involved now on a first time basis with people, because I think I really am cognizant. I think that I want a bit more. I want to understand someone.
Do you not feel it though?
A mental connection.
Meet a new couple and you make this decision relatively quickly.
It is quite a quick decision sometimes.
These are going to be people that we like.
But you also need sometimes a slow burn, I think.
Yeah. I think a slow burn is absolutely acceptable and it's perfectly
just to get
fine.
to know them.
But sometimes it's like lining in a bottle and you kind of go,
agreed.
They are our people. And those are sort of people like, hey guys, we met these people. You can see them, but only once we've had them. But you kind of get into that space where this is like, oh my God, these are awesome folks. They would be suitable for you too. And you kind of, and then you develop this whole network of people, which ultimately leads to the world's best orgy. That's what I'm planning. So I cannot.
So with the world's best orgy for you, everyone's aligning to your values morally, ethically,
but haven't you already had the world's best orgy?
Between us,
I don't think we can. I don't think we can say it's the world's best orgy.
You've had a few.
But
we've had a few orgies of which you have been part.
Yep.
And
all the best ones, I have to say.
To be fair, some of the best ones have involved you. I think we are on a pathway to creating the world's finest, like the absolute pinnacle. Like the moment where we're like, hey, we all get on with each other, and these are friends of friends, and these are all cool friends, and therefore we should all be together. This feels like it's a thing.
You do that a lot. You like people to be like, you'll like them because we like them.
Yeah.
And your morals and values should align, surely.
This hand is my hand. That hand is your
And that's a dangerous game sometimes because you often think, well, let's share a love, let's be collaborative.
Oh yeah, and sometimes that backfires.
And also you're like, oh, but also do we keep this because
so there's two things. So I think there is the danger of sharing the things that you've found. And you kind of go, oh, this is great. I don't want to share these bastards with anyone because they're like, these fuckers don't deserve these awesome people. This is fine.
But the altruistic nature in you wants people to be happy.
I want everyone to get on. And the trick is that actually, like, as much as I want the universal, like, hey, this is a great group and we're all going to get on, that doesn't happen. And that's the challenge, which leads me smoothly, probably, maybe not, into the next question.
Oh, no.
So we kind of talk about, right? So all these new people are coming in and they're like, fuck me, this is amazing. Like, how can we get this massive super orgy? But what advice would you give to people that are just joining the lifestyle? They're coming in and you each have a bit of advice. Now, I have to say,
It's communication.
Communication
was my first
Everyone
thing.
says that.
No.
But
Everyone says that. It's a given. That's a
Communication
given.
is super, super important.
But people still don't do it. That's the
I don't care. It's off the table. Fucking choose.
Communicate,
Look,
Pennylane.
Pennylane.
In the face.
Look, no. You don't make me slap you with something that isn't communication. Just pick it and talk about it. Do it.
He means his penis.
I think once communicated, I think we didn't set boundaries.
Nice.
Yeah, but we were
knew
comfortable
we were.
enough to not set boundaries. People should talk about boundaries.
But we knew what each other wanted. And then we went, okay, let's go and have fun. And then you kind of communicate again later
different.
on.
Your boundaries are going to be different. But we were just like, oh, we'll try this and see. Like you say, we'll try different things. But other people are going to, might be a little bit more nervous about those things. So it's not, I wouldn't say don't
And
make
you
boundaries.
can move boundaries.
You can move boundaries.
We have reviewed that.
We
learned
did have
them
some
on
boundaries. We did have certain boundaries, and we certainly would say now there really isn't any that we wouldn't talk about and explore. There is sort of nothing that's really kind of completely off the table at some point. I think we'd never say never. We'd kind of discuss it and move.
I look
Learn.
forward to Anal Tuesday.
But I just we might say not at the moment, but we'd never probably not if one of us wanted to do something that much, we would discuss it and really think about it. But it would make
So you're talking about like advice for other people. So boundaries, having those set. What sort of advice would you give people?
Join the lovely bed copper. Bed copper? What's that?
Bed copper.
What was that?
Join the bed copper.
The rival faction.
Yeah,
It's like the people
those
from
cunts.
Judean.
I fucking hate them.
Bed coppers.
Bed
Nothing
coppers.
to do with Judean people's friends.
Join
Join
the
the bed hopper.
I don't even know which was join the bed hopper thing. I was
Just
assuming.
join
Yeah.
the bed hopper community, because that's where you're gonna get all your
A
great
good clique of
information, a click of people.
I'm so hard right now.
I mean, that's what we
Get your
try and
confidence.
do.
Yeah, try and build your confidence.
Find
do
your
the thing
crowd.
where you find your people, and as a lady particularly, really look for the right kind of underwear to make you feel confident, because when you go to these things, you're going to feel better about yourself and you're going to have a better time and things like that. That's what I would say. I mean, I don't think that most people in this lifestyle have way too much underwear already, so those people don't need to buy anymore.
So what I'm hearing is that you've got the right sort of underwear right now.
Yeah.
Look forward to finding it. This is Mrs. H's favourite question of all time. This is your favourite.
Is it?
Yeah, it is.
How do you know?
Because let me explain. If you could change one thing about the lifestyle, what would it be? What would you throw in the lifestyle bin?
Room 101.
Room 101.
Room 101.
Oh,
You
so
get-
many things.
You get one
so
thing
many
each.
things.
That's,
Oh,
you gotta pick
that's
one.
I love
I-
Room 101.
It is hard, but that's only because you're talking to me. Which one do you want to pick?
What people already said.
I mean, it doesn't matter. You
Doesn't matter.
What
Okay.
do
get
you
your
want to throw
one
in Room
thing.
101?
Yeah.
People being pretentious.
No, just
Well, this is his. He's allowed it.
Yeah.
No,
It's
oh,
allowed.
I think putting on your mask is a good thing to make you feel more confident, but trying to pretend that you're someone that you're not.
but that's what we all do.
No. No. Some
I agree.
people,
I'm
no.
inclined to agree with you. I'm with you.
Oh, I don't know. Some people are actually quite an open book and they don't necessarily hide behind a mask. We did a whole episode about Mr. H's mask once.
Maybe, but I
And I
agree.
was very interested about this alter ego that he projects and
this
then
is not
doesn't
about me.
doesn't
For
show
a
in real
change,
life.
this is about other people. So I don't
However,
even.
It's Mr. H voice against Simon's voice.
yeah, maybe.
Yeah, there is
Yes,
a difference.
it was very much that.
There is a
I
difference.
was like, why
And
are you like this when you're Mr. H and you're not like this when you're
So
Simon?
I think the Simon is one thing and Mr. H is a different thing, and the lifestyle stuff is a weird middle of the two, and I think that like I get that I have to be brave to put myself in situations where I'm like, because I'm not naturally out there as far as this is true.
Oh, I'm sorry.
We're laughing, but I'm not. But actually, Mr. H is, and I have to.
Yes, and this was the whole point of the
whole
episode
thing.
because I was endlessly fascinated why you can do it
But
in this environment, but not in your own life.
Yeah, the reality is that Mr. H is becoming the more dominant part. It's like a Two-Face or whatever. Like
Venom, right?
Yeah, Venom or whatever. The alternate ego is becoming more than the original
sentient
person,
being.
and it's ultimately taking over that space where I feel more confident and more comfortable being who I am. But that wasn't who I started with, right? That wasn't who we were.
So my point being, Starlord is allowed to have something he puts in room 101, which is he dislikes people being pretentious.
Fucked up.
Too pretentious.
Too pretentious. That's it, like a small amount of pretentiousness.
Right, I have two things.
I've
got
Same.
two things.
Cool, go.
Because, I mean, I have to put the worst thing about this lifestyle is Luton.
You're putting Luton in room 101.
You are coming back there, my dear. Don't you worry.
You're going to put Luton in
Luton
room
is in
101.
The second thing is just the outside world's perception of the lifestyle in general. Because I think it's really
Very blinkered.
very blinkered and very dismissive. And I think that would be nice to put in
And
101.
it's an unfair representation, isn't it, really? Because that very narrow-minded view makes life quite difficult sometimes for us.
Yeah.
And it makes you feel like it's a dirty
It's
little
the
secret
shame. It's
and
the
a
shame. Yeah, there's a lot
and
of
it is
shame.
shameful, and you shouldn't feel shameful. It should
yeah.
be. It should be as easy as talking about golf
Yeah.
as your hobby. Or
Yeah.
I'm a bit ashamed of that, to be honest.
I
Me
would be
too.
ashamed of golf.
I mean,
also.
Mr.
No
H
offence,
tells me
golf
his
is-
hobby is golf. Well, we're done. But
Yeah.
No, it's more likely to be like golf on a console, like virtual golf.
go on then, Mr. Rich. What would you put in room 101? Lifestyle.
So there's so many things that I'd like to put in there. And
Yeah, right now.
right now, I think for me, there is something around the behavior of people. And I think what we're seeing now particularly with the political landscape in which we live in, some behaviors that are not cohesive with the way that we live. There's a right and a far left that kind of seems to be destroying
Quite
everything.
polarizing, isn't
It's
it?
very polarizing, and I would like to see the extremes of those. I don't care whether it's the extreme left or extreme right, but I would kind of like,
extreme, yeah.
it's the extremes that I'd like to see fucking toned down, so that actually people are kind of cool with everything. But I think we're far away from being in that space. And in fact, if anything, if you look at the future, I think we're kind of, as people that live a sexual-free lifestyle, I think that's in danger. And I think we're really in trouble with a space where over the next few years that the freedoms that we've achieved might be eroded. And I think it's a real sad fact. And I'd much rather see people come in and be much more open and be much more honest and kind of like take it the other way. But I think
Oh, that got deep.
it did. It may be perhaps, but I think we all live in this space where sexual freedom is really important to us, and actually we worked really hard to be in front of people and demonstrate this is okay and talk about the stuff like the reason we do the podcast, the reason we've done the television stuff, the reason we've all done all these different things, and the problem is that I think that stuff is at risk. And I think if we look at it from a perspective, particularly from the US, US folks, they seem to be in a far right extremism. I kind of want to erode some of that and just make some of this stuff actually okay. I think the journey ahead is going to be far more difficult than we ever were. Like women's rights, in the States, that's a real fucking struggle.
Backwards, isn't it?
Yeah.
really is.
So I'd like to take the edge off some of that stuff, altruism for all, right? Let's kind of look at this stuff and be realistic about it rather than going down a path where we're all cunts about everyone. But, this is an imaginary question and it got very deep. You thought I could tell
Could you imagine Mr. Trump being on our side?
Yeah.
Oh, fucking hell.
Yeah, right. These are the things like the Trumpisms, the fucking political landscape of which we live in. that can really damage it. Like we've got a nice little bubble that we all live in, and we can do our own thing. But the reality is that this could be eroded very quickly, and I kind of want the folks that we do have to stand up for it and be counted and be at least in front of the space and marking it out, so that if this gets attacked, and it will do, that they're ready to defend it. Maybe that's a drunk rambling, but you know,
we're lovers, not fighters.
yeah.
I think.
I'd defend it if it came to it, I think.
Yeah.
I thought I told you, Paul, I'm a lover, not a fighter. I don't understand the way you think. And I'm going to get sued now. Right.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, it's a very easy one to put one in one on. But
what was yours? Come on.
this is going to chuck bad hygiene in there.
Bad hygiene.
I mean, that's an obvious one, really. To me, that's like a minimum
the
level,
one.
Minimum level,
of
yeah.
entry to the
I mean, I also
lifestyle.
have a very deep one, but we're not going to go into that
Oh,
today.
no, you
You have
wanted
deep
one.
bad hygiene.
Go on.
I think we're already on deep. You can go deep.
Yeah, go deep.
Go deep.
Yeah, please do.
But bad hygiene was just like, Bear was like, this is very easy. I'm just going to chuck that.
Yeah, go for it.
What's the deep?
No, go deep.
Outside of,
My
please go
other
deep.
one actually was around this. I feel like there's sometimes a bit of a vibe of people very easily just trying to connect by the medium of just pornographic images. And then
Oh, that was my other one.
so it's very easy to just chuck out this kind of visceral want of, hey, here's my cock, here's my fanny, whatever, and hey, let's just all just do this because you've seen my picture now. That is like my biggest turn off.
Yeah.
Like if I see some kind of chat group or I don't know, message or some whatever kind of media it is that it finds its way into my life, which is rare because I don't look at shit. And guarantee when I do, I find this.
I like the irony of this. I really hate all these cock pictures that I
I don't
don't
see them.
actually look
Yes,
at.
but my point being, when I do venture in there and think, oh, just
do
do
you
a little
think that
look,
there's
I'm like, oh,
There's an
I'm
element
disappointed.
where sometimes it could be that the guy or the in the radio thought that's what I need to do. I'm going to put my wife out there
Preconception.
anyway.
It's not. No, please
Sometimes
don't.
it isn't, but I think
If
that
I ask for it,
a lot of
great.
it might be that. And
Right.
actually,
So
as a couple, they might not be as in full on as that. It's just sometimes
It's
that's
a
what
bit-
people think they need to do to.
It makes me very reticent to want to pursue anything further with, because when I see this affront of, oh, here's some visual stimulus and this is all I have to offer right now, I'm like, I don't want to see that. I actually want to hear more
I
about
want to see their face.
you.
I want to
Maybe
see.
I want to. This is why I prefer chat in person. Great,
Yeah.
but if we can't do that, great. But I really don't want to be you defined by a picture of your genitals, or
There is something.
here's Manly Monday, or here's fucking Titty Tuesday.
Alliteration.
Pornographic images grind my gears so much. So there you go, alliterative porn that can get in.
There is. It's a really tricky balance because, like, if someone posts a sexy picture, like, that's good, that's nice. But if it falls into a constant sweep of this is whatever the day is, it's
By
last
Thursday.
Tuesday or whatever, you kind of
Fishing
go,
on
oh, fuck's
Friday."
sake. But at the same point, if someone posts a nice picture, that's cool.
Yes,
It does take a lot.
But also,
yeah.
what's the
certainly.
impetus behind that? Why are they
So,
doing it? Why are they
okay, all right.
generating that?
So for many people, they're trying to attract the attention that goes with that. And we know many people, including ourselves, that kind of post a picture and kind of go, this is it. Like, how do you feel about this?
Right.
Some of it is is a little bit more thirst trappy than others. And some of it is going to be, this is us on a Tuesday night jog or whatever the fuck it might be, right? It's hard to differentiate between posting a picture that is there to go, oh, this is me doing a thing versus this is thirst trap me, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's,
Please give me likes.
yeah, and this is the problem. And if you look at those pictures that people post, you struggle to kind of see the throughput. Like, what do you want us to do with this? And we've got friends between the four of us that we know that they post their absolute thirst trap pictures, and you kind of go, well, that's a nice picture,
Yeah.
but we recognize that you are literally doing that to gain a level of interest.
Yeah.
Now, at that point, do you go, I get that, that's nice, that's good? Or do we go, fuck you, why are you fucking being a posing dickhead? And I think, like, for you, Mrs. H, your answer to that is like, fuck you. You're being a posing dickhead. I don't want to see it. And it's really hard to judge between the two things. And if you post, your picture has to strike a fine balance, and not everyone gets it right. And I've done it. I've been like, okay, I'm going to post a picture. I'm going to post a topless picture of me. Why not? I'm going to do it, right? Everyone else is doing it. And I'll spend 20 minutes taking the picture and I'll be like posing or whatever. I'll be like, yeah, look at me. I've got a polar bear or whatever. Like a Christmas
Polar bear.
Christmas polar bear. Take that, right? And I'll post that online and I'll be like, right, there we go, folks. What do you make of that? I want people to respond nicely to it. Like, because I'm like, I have put myself out there.
And what do you want from that?
I want people to go, you know what? That's a good picture. Like I want,
yes.
yeah, you do. Of course you do. You want people to go, you look attractive, and you want people to go, that is nice. But then when you see other people doing the exact same thing, you have a different response, and it's really fun. You kind of go, that dickhead, they're posting a picture and they're posing and they're doing this, and you go, absolute bastard, why are they doing that? But the reality is, when you do it, you want the same likes and the same things. And
absolutely. I think you need to support the people who do put pictures out there.
Yeah, they do. And I've gone maybe a step further. So I think what maybe my dislike is more around this is the interaction I get.
Yeah.
Why does my dialogue have to consist of a stream of pictures rather than
the tricky bit is though,
interesting information?
So you need as a human being, you need to establish whether you go, okay, this is a fun, sexy pic, great pic, or this is a thirst trap that's designed to do it. And if you feel it's designed to do it and it's a call out for attention, you kind of go, fuck you, I don't like this. But if it's like, hey, I'm just a nice person, and this is my chest, I've worked really hard to get, you kind of go, oh, okay, this is nice, that we like this. But it's really hard to establish that link between the two.
Maybe my annoyance is more around
Proper
when
full-on
I'm in some kind of chat group, a social chat, which is designed to generate, get to know you stuff, and it ends up being oversaturated maybe with just visceral thirst grabbing attention stuff rather than actual.
But how do you know the difference between the two? You don't.
Because I instantly tune out if I'm faced with fucking Titty Tuesday. I'm like, I'm done. I'm not here for this.
Those same people want validation.
Yeah, we do.
Sometimes I do feel like a lot of that is the partner doing it for their getting the gratification of going, that's my wife or that's my partner. Like that, it's the opposite.
It is. It's
way.
validation.
I don't think a lot of people, and
you'll be the hottie or something.
Women
maybe.
in general, I don't think.
You can't.
As a percentage,
I'm looking forward to this. You can't say this. Come on, go for it.
Women in general, as a percentage, will not be the ones to put out that many genital close-up pictures of their own.
Disagree.
I don't think that it's. I think that it's more likely to be there.
You've entered a dark road.
You can't engender people. I'm sorry, but
Babe, we haven't got time.
Percentage-wise, I think I'm right.
To be fair,
there are some.
I think percentage-wise, you're probably right, but we can't. I feel like we can't say that or shouldn't say that because ultimately, anyone could be posting stuff on behalf of their partner. That would be my take.
Well,
because I know answers to the both sides. However, right, we have another question for you.
Oh my god!
Oh, no.
You're looking. You're trying to decipher my writing. I like this.
I can't read it.
You've got
I can't do it.
prayer. What would be your ideal date, both of you?
Nando's and a
Dose?
Nando's. You are so much.
Oh my god!
Scrap.
I was not expecting to say that.
Potentially.
Fucking Nando's.
No, maybe this is the thing.
I mean, this is
Nando's.
This is cool.
really easy to achieve.
Baby, take me out of sexy Nando's. Where are we going after Nando's, dear?
Like, I don't know, a Lord of the Rings marathon at the cinema?
You are.
I thought you were just going to double down and go
Is this at home or in the cinema?
Oh, in the cinema.
Tell
on the big
us more.
screen.
On the big screen.
No, I don't know. I think anything where you can do an activity, so it's not just sat. I think I'm not really one for sitting just in a quiet place with the.
She says, having described a cinema saying Lord of the Rings for 12 fucking hours.
Cinemas are known for being quite quiet for the audience.
Oh, I'm so sorry, Pennylane. I think you did it.
Something where you can do an activity, you can go out, you can go do things like a museum. I don't know. But I don't want to be sat in a restaurant.
Wait, but never bowling, right?
Never
bowling.
Lazy Quest, maybe.
No, what I mean is, I don't want to be. You don't want to be sat in a dinner table having to just constantly.
So we go to a series of films that last for 12 fucking hours in the dark.
That's the idea. No talking, just
It's a bit
sitting.
like an everyman. We can have drinks and
Yeah, booze is important.
Booze.
But also, we're
important.
going to Nando's first, don't forget.
So we go to Nando's.
I don't want to be hungry in the cinema.
We go to Nando's.
That's why I said Nando's.
And we watch
If you're in Nando's,
12 to 14 hour fucking because you're not
Extended edition.
Oh, you got me here. Oh, you harlot. An extended edition where we don't have to talk to each other.
Don't
in
do
the
no
cinema.
theatrical version.
Nando's and Lord of the Rings. Brilliant. Okay, what about you?
No, man.
I mean, you've got everything to pay for here because you set a really low bar.
I mean, it's not a no for me. I mean,
It's a cheap date so far. Bottomless frozen
cheap
yogurt.
day. Going to the cinema for 36 hours in a row. Oh, God. It's like 50 quid.
Nando's is pretty cheap though.
Yeah, that's true. That's
Yeah,
true.
but
Just get like a meal deal.
If you're
bottomless
12 hours
frozen
in
yogurt.
Everyman with the cocktails, that is not.
That's not true. That's not.
You get
Oh,
wine
you've
in a
gone to
can.
Everyman.
Yeah, it's got to be
She
Everyman.
demands a pizza
both
every
of them.
6.5.
Right, let's see what Starlord's got to say.
it depends who it's with, male or female.
All right.
I think I'm pretty much basic as most people. Drinks and a chat and somewhere fun to go to.
Not Nando's.
I'd avoid that.
Have you ever taken Pennylane to Nando's on a date?
I think I've taken Pennylane and Nando's.
I think it's now and I avoid
You're
it.
in there.
There's probably one at Cobham Services.
Service station rules, right? You can have fun anyway, especially if it's a service station.
May I just for Valentine's Day and take her to Nando's?
A couple.
Apparently she'll be in there.
A light date.
Yeah.
All right.
Where would you take
Yeah,
Pennylane?
if you were,
Yes.
I cannot tell you where I'd take Pennylane because I have some ideas in my head that I don't want to ruin it. And so
For what? You don't know it for what?
for the fact that she might have that opportunity, I don't know. So I don't think that I'm allowed to take Pennylane somewhere. But if I am, then I want it to be a
It's quite
surprise.
the riddle,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah.
It is like
surprise. I don't do that. I don't do surprises.
I do not-
I have to know where I'm going, otherwise I'll have a freak out.
And you have enough information that
What
you
I
can
can tell you, babe, is you don't need to spend much money. Nando's and she's happy.
like Nando's, and all the rings for 15 hours.
Other
We're
chicken
fine.
menus are available.
I can just see it now. Like, yeah, just like a filleted butterfly chicken, please. Baby spice.
I can
It's
see
so very
the
exciting.
text coming in.
no,
Babe, how's your date going? Well, we're 5 hours into fucking Return of the King. Yeah. Like 2 towers now.
I do only order plain chicken.
Spicy.
Baby spice here. So this has turned into...
Because, you know, we've got a 5-hour marathon cinema date, so we don't want to
okay.
go too spicy.
All right, so if let's be absolutely honest. So my take would be, I don't think Lord of the Rings would be our date. I think that would. I know you're.
So disappointed.
Well, it's not very interactive with children.
No.
Is it? It's more of a you thing.
So if it was the exact, like if we were to say, okay, this week we're going on a date, I would take you to probably to like the Tim Burton exhibit that's in London, and that we'd wander around. All right, fucking hell.
Come on, what?
We'd go
Why
to
don't I know
experience
this?
that,
Okay.
and then we'd go to a nice bar with some nice food that was not spicy chicken, and then we'd go back to a nice hotel and we'd have some sexy time.
Question, Carolyn from Southampton.
Yes, yes,
Can I have this date, please?
yes. Of course you can. You can have that date.
I would like this date.
Yes, you can both. I'll take you both at the same
I
time.
mean, cool.
I mean, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah.
Starlord can come along
I
too.
feel, I feel
I'm free this
excluded from that.
Thursday. Cool.
Yeah.
Let's go.
I need someone to carry my
Burton
bag.
exhibition?
Starlord,
It's
come on.
in like 4 days. So
I want a Tim Burton expedition followed
Expedition.
by expedition.
He goes up a mountain. He's like, fucking Johnny Depp, jump. And he's like, fuck
He's
yes, I'll
welcome.
jump. Yeah, he'll do
I
whatever.
want a Tim Burton exhibition followed by cocktails and shagging hotel. Thank you.
Yes.
But as a date, that sounded okay.
does
It's
sound
not,
I've
you
never
know,
had a date like
Very
this.
wrong.
This sounds
You've had
great.
plenty of dates like this. We went to a Star Wars exhibit in London and had
Wasn't
sex
a date.
done. Yes, it was. It was you and
Just
me.
happened to be there.
Oh, but you can't, right, okay. So the difference is...
You have to
it's
call
Star
it a
Wars
date.
exhibit.
Do I have
to
to
call
do
it a
it?
date? Put
So-
an invite, you know.
So, like, for us then, does it have to be like a moment where I go, this is a date and we're doing this?
Yeah, let's do it.
Or is
I
it,
want
are
a
we
date.
just
I
doing
want
an
a
activity?
date.
Like, we've been to like the science
a
museum.
planned shag in a hotel.
You don't
Time's now,
fucking
9
like
PM.
a plan. You'll be asleep by 11.
Really nice hotel night.
But this is the...
We all fill up on my Nando's.
You have plenty,
Blah, 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 blah.
you have plenty of dates with me that are marvelous and wonderful. I would say. I would.
Never
so
saw Tim
like
Burton.
every day is a date with you because I love you and adore you. And I think the thing is that as a relationship, you put the effort in and you kind of go, this is where we're planning this point. But if you're going out with somebody else, you kind of
Yeah.
go, well, actually.
Elevate it to Tim Burton.
You don't, it's not Tim Burton levels. It's just you kind of go, right, this is the thing. But you asked me what I'd do on a date, on a
Right,
separate
yeah.
date. That would be my, off the top of my head.
My
that
head hasn't
would be
thought about it
Are
at
you
all.
into Tim Burton particularly?
Yeah, I would like
I mean,
that.
Joe from Danny
nice.
Elfman too.
Yeah,
Doesn't really get the whole.
Okay.
I might change my restaurant to Five Guys.
Five Guys. We have been. So we went to Brighton many
We did.
years,
Yeah.
many years ago, and we scoured Brighton for ages looking for something to eat at like
Oh
midnight.
my God, we
Let's
did
just
like
go
2 in the
away to
morning.
Yeah,
eat.
10 morning. And the
I'm
only
so
place,
hungry.
yeah, we found Five Guys, and it was a delight.
What was the only thing it was?
But it was
By the
literally-
time we got there, we were absolutely starving to death.
We were dead.
And the menu is so confusing.
Yeah.
I'll take all of it. It's fine.
Yeah, whatever the fuck is tickable.
Yeah, ticket.
So
Well, now I want to know what Starlord's date plans
Yes,
are for me.
that's-
I mean, no pressure, but you got to beat Tim
for you,
Burton.
I like the way
Oh,
you've gone. Like,
wow.
I want to know what
Because
Starlord's
you've
date is
given
for me,
Pennylane.
not just
I
general.
would
You're
start with
me,
asking
you're
what you want.
Oh,
No,
That's-
No, Starlord, you're in it
I
now.
can't make decisions. You
I
make
would
for
take you
me.
to Comic Con.
Oh, cool. All right. Yeah, I'm down
Dress
with
as
that.
whatever you want. You can dress me in whatever you want.
Oh.
again, why am I not getting
And then we go to Nando's. All right, guys.
It's gluten safe. Yeah. Five Guys, that's so. None
Yeah.
that's probably it.
It will just be the food court that's outside.
As long as you're home by 9, it's
Yeah,
fine.
yeah.
Oh,
That's
so
fine.
we're going to Comic Con.
Where would you take me, Starlord?
Comic Con.
Oh, I would
I know
take
you
you
said
to
It
the
was a refreshing surprise from the anus.
Oh, I thought he was going to go to heaven and back.
I would take you to
Comic-Con.
the Transformers shop, obviously.
Yes,
Yeah.
you would.
Yeah, we'll take you to
Yeah.
the Battersea Transformer
Yeah.
shop. That would be a date.
You're picking easy things now. This
Yeah.
you just gone Transformers and
I mean, Pennylane to Lego shop is absolutely fine as an idea.
I mean, to be fair, we're all quite easy, aren't we?
literally.
You're right,
There's the
yeah.
days.
Just
So-
give us some cocktails and food and
yeah,
what have you.
and we're fine. So what I want to know. So we're coming to the conclusion of this
Thank
rambling.
Christ.
Yeah,
Sorry.
it's a lot of
If any of this
I'm
is
nearly
usable,
alcoholic milk, so
No
okay.
one's learned anything.
No,
They just
I don't even know what you're
Don't eat olive
drinking.
oil.
No, it's milk.
It's milk.
It's
milk. Milk and bit
I mean,
mix.
don't they? Maybe Starlord's got questions for us. He wants.
Well, this is the thing. They
He did have. I don't know
have
if he
some
remembers
questions
it
for
now.
us.
Lots of
All right.
questions earlier.
All right, come on,
Oh,
go
wow.
for the
Do
questions
I?
for us.
Have you got any
those-
questions for
You did
Now is-
earlier, but you just. Yeah.
Mr. the Star-Lord, now is your time to shine.
I love Mr. Starlord. So we talked a lot about solo dates in your past podcasts.
Okay.
So ideal solo date for Mr. H.
Tim Burton and that.
Yeah.
We're going to the
pretty
Tim
much that.
Burton
Yeah.
exhibition.
Too light. Come on.
So for me, I like someone that has. So very often, I find in my life, I'm making decisions and the planning and the conveyancing of what's going on. So I like someone that will take control of that, so I don't have to think about it. So I can just be me. And I appreciate that can be tricky because I'm a fussy bugger. But actually, I like the idea of someone going, well, this is where we're going. This is what we're doing. So and I like something of an experience, whether that's a museum, whether that's a place that we're going, as long as it's not fucking bowling. I fucking hate bowling. Really
And
fucking hate it.
magicians.
Yeah. So
both.
yeah, these are not good things. But I like going out and doing a thing, and I like that thing to be something that someone has selected, whether that's a museum, whether that's arcade place or whatever. People know what I like, and you folks know what I like, so that's cool. And then some drinks and I enjoy the build up. I like the opportunity to kind of get to know someone while we're doing that. And then that ramps up and then some sexy times somewhere else. But for me, it's about taking the decision making away from me a little bit because I do that so much day to day. I like that. But I also recognize that can be tricky for people. And they overthink, particularly when it's me. They're like, oh my God, it's like, not that it's me, but it's like, oh my God, it's you. It's such
like
a pain
so
in the ass.
many things,
Yeah. And like, what are you going to do?
You're impossible to buy for.
I'm not. I'm
You
really
are.
not. But
You have everything.
like, I could design a perfect date for myself, but why would I when I want someone else to do that for me? And that's the sexy part of it.
True.
So a more
Just-
dominating woman to take control of the date.
Well, I don't know why you're pointing at me then.
I don't
I'm
know
not
that it's-
dominating at all.
I don't know that it's a dominating thing. I think it's more about someone taking care of where we're going and what we're doing. And I think we can exist in the situation and have fun within it. But it's the fact that we don't have to go, oh, where are we going now? What are we doing now? And I swear I've spent more times talking to people about what do we do now, what's for tea, than I ever should have done before. So if someone's got that taken care of, it means that I can focus on them and enjoy that moment. And that's so important to me because I want to enjoy the people. Otherwise, what's the point of being there?
Me? Your turn, Miss
What have I got to
Pennylane.
do?
Yeah, you got a
What?
question.
Have I?
Yeah, I've asked mine.
Remember, you had a question.
I don't have a question.
You?
What?
I have to have the question now.
So I haven't
Ew.
asked a question. I don't have a question. What are you talking about?
Have you got any questions?
Have you got any
questions.
questions for us?
No.
No, that was simple enough.
I don't have any
Great chat.
questions.
One thing you change about lifestyle now, what would it be?
I think if we're talking about me and that lifestyle, it would be my hesitance to talk about things. It would be like I would like to be able to have a fearless approach to things, but I'm still very fearful. I'm still fearful of rejection and still.
Oh yeah, that's a huge thing.
Yeah, I
But
think
everybody is. Yeah. That's the thing. Everybody's
That's
got
just
that fear of
human
rejection.
nature.
Just
That goes back
generally
to what I
there.
said about having a mask on. You want to remove that mask away from the lifestyle and go, this is who I am. And
Yeah, we're hardwired to worry about.
you asked the
people
question,
not
I can
doing
answer.
it.
What more do you fucking want? All right.
it's a big question.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Thank you, Mr. Rage. I like your answer, but fuck you, I don't like your answer. Wife,
What?
you've got an answer for this.
What was the question again?
Oh my days!
I'm pretty sure it's the same
would you
question.
change?
You've already
What would you
asked.
change?
What will you change? Is it the genitals again? Just-
What would I change about my lifestyle?
Yeah,
I think it's the predisposition to assuming that we fuck anything with a pulse,
yeah.
because it's really not.
it's the perception
way.
that you want to change, or the actual fucking anything with a pulse that you want to change.
A perception.
You want to put a key in a bowl and just
I
randomly.
do want to put keys in a bowl.
just
Well, we tried it once.
perception.
but it didn't work out.
I like the
loads of
idea.
perceptions that still exist even now around
It's still-
why we do what we do, why it's so shameful. Just
Can I just say though, right? There's
Yes.
I don't know, 18,
Misunderstanding.
18 people. Say let's just go with 18 for some unknown reasons.
18?
18. We all want to fucking fuck each other's brains out, and we're all on board with it. And they put their keys in a bowl.
right.
That task is fine.
Question.
You got your hands. Yeah.
Right.
Male or female?
Right.
I mean,
But that's just
18
adding
people.
to. No, the point is that to get 18 people that all like each other is impossible.
Yes, it is.
Like, it's
unless
hard
you've,
enough with the
unless
four
you've
people.
curated it yourself and you know exactly
Yeah.
who
In my
the
head,
18
I've
people are.
like this is me. I've curated everything myself.
But 18
And I
random
get,
people,
I get where you're coming
yes.
from in terms of the heteronormative. Like, what about the people that want to play with a guy? I get what you're saying. In this situation, I'm sorry, fuck you. You don't count.
Yeah.
This is from an ease of fucking trying to work this out. There are 18 people, 8 people, whatever, and we put our keys in the bowl and it just goes in there. But under the assumption that we all like each other and that everyone is equally turned on, that situation is fine. But
It's just, yeah.
that situation is fucking impossibly hard to organise, right?
Yeah.
Is that
Yes.
fair?
Yes. I'm concerned about the math here with 8 people and 8 people. would be 16.
Nine people,
No.
whatever.
Right.
Whatever it is.
What the
whatever
other people do.
Yeah, well, that's fine. They can sit there and look longingly on into the chaos that ensues.
Yeah.
But the whole thing is around the keys and the ball thing. I think it's a great idea if, like, so, right, for example, right?
No inhibitions, no boundaries, just...
We had a New Year's Eve here a while ago where people were like to each other. That wouldn't have been so bad to do that. That we probably would have gotten
Had a
through
laugh
that.
and-
Yeah.
We probably would have been okay. In hindsight, maybe not, but we probably would have been, right? So in that situation, I think that's great. But in as a random, you rock up and you turn up to a venue and you kind of go, I'm going to put my keys in the bowl and I don't know who I'm going to get out. Fucking awful, terrible situation.
Oh, absolutely
Yeah.
it is, because that's terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
Because
It's never going to go
so I
well.
guess I don't like the misconception that that's, you know, we're so, you know, laissez-faire with our approach to how we carry out our hobby. Like we just, we just fuck randos apparently.
Yeah.
That's not
We've
it.
learned that
There's so much more to it than that.
Miss Pennylane is demisexual, which was a term that we never knew before this lifestyle.
Demi meaning vaguely.
Demi being attracted to intellect and find out who the people you like that turns you on. I mean, it's more to it than that, obviously, but finding people you're attracted to because of their intelligence and their personality is
I'm
more
so
important
screwed.
to you.
Sapiosexual.
I don't really understand it.
We're just chucking words and sexual onto the end.
Just
Just confuse
fine.
people.
Pennysexual. I'm pennysexual.
I'm penny.
I'm going to go with alcohol-sexual. It's the only way forward. You get enough drunk and you're fine.
I feel there's enough editing now for Mr. H.
Yes, I feel that there is
There's
enough.
a lot.
So-
There's a lot that I'm going to ask to be removed.
I run out colic milk and I need a wee.
All right. So with that in mind, where can people find you in the world? On Fab? On Swing
on
Hub,
Fab,
or-
we have a profile, and on
We do. It's
Swing
a
Hub,
bit
we have a
dusty,
profile.
but it's there.
Oh, nice. So dust that off. What's
Dust
it
that
called?
off. I don't know.
Excellent.
Shall I look it up first? We're Foxmeyer98,
Yes.
which is really obscure
Right.
for
I don't know
for Fab.
about
Foxnimia.
Swing Hub. I think we might just be Pennylane and Starlord.
I think we are.
Maybe.
So they may or may not be
May not be
available
there.
online. If you, I'll
knows?
put some show links to which probably don't exist. At the back
Contact
of
these
this.
guys.
Yeah, thanks. Just send us a message and we'll forward it on to them if you want to know more about
You're
these
going to
people.
get such an influx of people that
Well,
want to connect to us.
Yeah, I mean, at least one a year, maybe.
You're assuming that I'm even going to edit this into something that's going to be broadcastable. This is a very, very fucking big deal. But I want to say a huge thank you for drinking drinks with us and coming online and talking about all of this nonsense.
Didn't come online.
Came online because
It
by the
came
time this
online.
gets published,
You
it's the thing.
survived.
We
Well
might.
done.
Yeah.
Online.
This is a long step away from the first time where we shoved a microphone in front of Starlord's
Oh my
face,
God.
and he.
We talk about trees.
I
Yes.
like the tree.
Oh my
The
god.
trees are the best thing.
Trees.
So thank you very
That was
much.
amazing.
We'll
Sorry,
play
go
an
on.
interview thing now. It's going to be good, right? So I just want to say a huge, huge thank you to you, gentle listener,
For hanging in there.
for hanging in there through all of this. I hope you enjoyed that, but I'd also like to offer my most sincere thanks and possible apologies to Pennylane and Starlord for sticking microphones in front of them and
They loved
recording.
it. They loved it,
I hope
I'm
they,
sure.
maybe, I don't know. I have sent this to them in advance and they are still, as far as I know, friends with us. So it can't be that bad. But if you're still here, that means you've made it. And that means that the next episode will be a significantly less drunk and a significantly more insightful, from my perspective, certainly my contributions than it has been this time around. There will be probably less singing. And gentle listener, you have no idea the amount of singing I took out of this edit.
Oh God, you did insist on singing a lot.
It's drunk me. What do you expect? I mean, if it's not a Disney or Muppets based song, then is it even a
I
night
think
out?
you probably sang Gaston at least 4 times.
I probably did. I asked people about their challenges at least 7 times. This was all a thing that happened. Anyway, I want to say a huge, huge thank you to Pennylane and Starlord for coming along, for the wonderful birthday surprise, for the balloons. They brought me balloons. That was very kind of them. They brought me great gifts. and for sticking around with us and having some fun times too. So thank you very much, folks. It was absolutely my pleasure having you at our house. And right, what have we got coming up? So as we said at the start of the episode, we have got the Social Club event in Bournemouth coming up. We've got our Candyland event, ticket details in the show notes.
Yeah.
And then after that, I'm sure we've got other stuff planned.
Well, we're swanning off to Thailand for a bit after that.
Well, not straight away. We've got, that's like later
like
on.
A month later.
Yeah, a month or two. So
Yeah.
Operation Get Ready for Thailand.
Oh, I know what we have got coming up.
What do we got coming up?
It's not at all lifestyle related, but it's quite funny. For your birthday, I bought you tickets to see a ukulele concert.
Oh, yes. We're going to see the Great Ukulele Orchestra. Or the Ukulele Orchestra of Great Britain.
I'm so excited. Maybe.
When's
I'm
that?
Excited for you. It's February.
February. That's going to be so much fun.
I hope so.
Yay! Or Uke to your puke.
Oh my goodness, yeah. Yeah, that'll be me. But yeah, we're going to that. That'll be fun.
Going to that. We've got some new couples that we've met recently. That's been really cool. We've been out on some dates and some adventures and getting to know some new people, which has been really awesome. So hopefully we'll get to see some of them and hopefully we'll get to catch up with some other friends too.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right then. Well, Mrs. H, do your thing.
Well, thank you for hopping into our bed.
Do you have a joke for this bit? This is a bonus bit at the end. You probably don't. I don't think there's a joke.
Bollocks. I did have a joke and it's completely left me.
Really? Oh, that's good.
Oh, no.
Nothing?
No, I'm dry.
You're dry. Oh dear. I've left you dry for the third time today.